Hello everybody, welcome to Career Right. My name is Shipra Singh. Before we begin, if you like Career Right's videos, please subscribe to the channel. Because when you subscribe, the channel grows bigger, which enables us to get you more career boosting content. Great. Now in today's video, we are going to discuss some tough situational interview questions that are commonly asked in the interviews. What these questions expect you to do is imagine yourself in a situation and discuss how you would handle it. These questions test your critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making abilities in addition to your emotional intelligence. Now, see, in this era of AI, it is easy for the employers to get their technical problems solved. But AI has its own limitations. It doesn't understand the tone of what has been said, it doesn't understand your body language. Making ethical judgments in various situations is a problem for it. And that's where the employers need human beings. As the roots of AI get deeper, such situational questions will become all the more important in the interviews. And being prepared to answer them will become an absolute necessity. These type of questions appear in 60 to 80% of the interviews and are usually asked at the middle of the interview. After the interviewer has evaluated your basic skills and wants to see how you would behave in a particular situation now. But the interesting thing is, these questions leave 1/3 of the candidates surprised. So, if you're preparing for your next interview, make sure that you prepare scenario based questions also to prevent yourself from landing up with those 1/3 candidates who are straight away eliminated. Whether you are a fresh graduate or an experienced candidate, these questions will be useful to both of you. Should we begin? Fantastic. Let's start and stay connected till the end. Okay, and here comes our question number 1. If you found a mistake in a colleague's work that could have serious implications on the company or the project, what would you do? Okay, what do you think is the purpose of the interviewer behind asking this question here? Because once you understand the purpose, developing a strategy to answer becomes super easy. So see, their basic purpose behind asking this question is to assess your integrity, accountability, and responsibility, in addition to your ability to handle such situations diplomatically. They want to understand if you would be able to prioritize company's interests over everything else or not. So what's actually needed here is to assess what happened and why, and its impact on the team, project, and the company. It is based on the understanding about the situation that you can speak to your colleague to find a solution and to inform the stakeholders if necessary. A good sample answer in this case can be something like, well, a similar situation occurred in a project I was involved in some time back. One of my colleagues made a major error in the financial calculations for a client, which, if unnoticed, could have led to major discrepancies in the final reports. I approached him respectfully and helped him correct the error before it could have had a cascading effect or got escalated. It did take a bit of time to redo the calculations, but together we ensured that the project was back on track. The key, I realized, was addressing it quickly without any drama. Had we not been able to handle it at our level, I would have suggested my colleague to seek help from our manager in resolving it. So you see, when you understand the purpose of the question clearly, you are able to get the right words in your answer and structure it properly. And that is what sets you apart from everybody else in the crowd. Okay? Fantastic. Let's move on to the next question. And our question number 2 is, suppose you are leading a project with a tight deadline and a key team member becomes unavailable all of a sudden. What would you do? A very common question and situation in every professional's life. If I put it jokingly, the day you start working, you get married to the deadlines. Now see, with this situation, the interviewer is actually trying to assess your commitment, adaptability, ability to stay calm, and problem solving skills. Try to showcase these qualities in your answer. The ideal thing to do in such a case is, number 1, assess the situation. What has been done, what's remaining, who is available to share the responsibility, etc. Number 2, have an open communication with the team. As for the stakeholders like clients, you would need to inform them also of the situation if there are going to be any delays in the project. At the same time, you would also need to reassure them that you are reassigning the task and are committed to finish the project. And number 3, reallocate the resources and focus on meeting the essentials first. Because what happens in absence of a strategy is we tend to panic, which adds up to the anxiety. And to tell you honestly, if I look back at the beginning of my own career, I have also made these mistakes. But with the experience of working for all these years, I have realized it doesn't help. Focusing on assessment and reassignment of resources is anytime a better bet. So, demonstrate all of these qualities in your answer, which could be a real life situation from your professional or academic life. For example, if I were to answer this question today, I would say something like, well, with all the experiences I've had, I believe taking a stock of the situation and reallocating your resources is the best strategy in such a situation. Recently, I led an interior designing project when a key team member had to leave unexpectedly due to family emergency. So, the first thing I did was help him arrange travel and then take a quick handover of his calculations and analysis. We reassessed the project together and redistributed his work. Afterward, I gathered with the team, explained the situation, and proposed a reallocation of tasks. The team also reassured me that while the timeline might stretch a bit, we would deliver the project together. The next important thing was to inform the client, as there was going to be a little delay in the project and a change in the flow of the work also. We also reassured the client that we are committed to deliver the project. By keeping the communication transparent and focusing on the solutions, we managed to finish the project, though there was a minor delay in the delivery. Since we approached the situation with honesty and commitment, the client also appreciated our efforts. In fact, impressed by our genuinity, he recommended us to some more people also. So, do you realize when you prepare to answer some of such questions, your mind starts getting habituated to find the purpose behind every question, and automatically your answers start getting better. And this is what we are learning to do. Moving on to question number 3 now. How would you approach a situation where you disagree with your manager's direction on a project? Another great question that tests your ability to have a point of view, communicate it to your manager without actually challenging his authority. And this question is very, very important because while all of us may disagree with our manager, there's no scope for insubordination at work. Let us assume there are 3 employees faced with the same situation. Let's call them A, B and C. A has no point of view at all, or in some cases, even if he has one, he is never able to put it across. B is an intelligent guy, but lands up challenging the manager's authority all the time. While C is always in search of opportunities where he can put the manager in trouble. He is always in a hurry to escalate the matter without wanting to discuss it with the manager. So, who do you think is the right candidate to consider here? Clearly, none of them. So, what's the right thing to do here? Well, showcase that you are someone who generally has a point of view and are professional enough to communicate it respectfully. Pick an example from the past to explain this now. A good sample answer here can be something like, well, I believe this situation is a test of the balance a candidate has in being assertive while being respectful towards the manager. If I am faced with one such situation, I would first try to understand the thought process and reasoning of my manager behind their approach. There's a possibility that I might have missed considering a crucial factor here. If I still feel differently, I'll try to collect some facts, data, and examples using which I can convince him in a personal meeting. However, if he is still convinced with his direction, I would adapt and help him in the execution, unless there's an ethical or legal ground that suggests any severe impact on the business or the society. Now just imagine which interviewer would like to reject a candidate with such a mature mindset and approach. And that is why I always say, more than the answer, it is your mindset and the approach that matters during the interviews. So, with this, let's see another interesting question. And the question is, how would you identify the smartest candidate for this job role? Well, this is a tough question because you are a job seeker at the moment, and somewhere you are required to analyze your own candidature also at the moment. The basic purpose of this question is to get an understanding of number one, how much do you know about the skills and personal qualities required to perform this job? Number two, how important is being culturally fit in your view? And thirdly, what's your evaluation about your own candidature? It's a good idea to research all these requirements before the interview when you are actually in the preparation phase. In fact, your answer to this question also helps you prepare your justification for why you are the best candidate for this role. Now, the most common mistakes that the candidates commit while answering this question are offering very generic qualities like hardworking, friendly, adaptable, while they pay too less attention to the role specific skills. On the other hand, you'll find candidates who ignore the importance of being culturally fit altogether, or they land up with over self promotion. What you have to do here is offer a balanced answer that blends both hard and soft skills. At the same time, it should subtly align with your own strengths. For example, if it is a digital marketing role, you can say something like, I would identify the best digital marketing candidates by looking for strong analytical skills, creativity, and adaptability. They should be comfortable with tools like Google Analytics and SEO software. And they should also be able to interpret data and optimize the campaigns, etc. A candidate with an ability to create engaging content and a mindset for continuous learning will thrive in digital marketing's dynamic environment. Additionally, I would look for someone who can fit well within the team's culture to ensure an effective team bonding and collaboration. And I believe my own skills and background do meet these requirements. So, you see how you have talked about the requirements and subtly indicated how you meet them. Okay, and finally, moving on to the last question for today's video. Imagine you start working here and another employer offers you a position with a higher salary. What would you do? Extremely important question in today's scenario where job hopping is rampant. First of all, let's talk what is considered a bad answer here. So, trying to dodge the question or giving a very vague answer shows that you are shy of commitment. Something that will definitely go against you and is not a good idea. Secondly, giving an excessively defensive answer like I'll never leave is also not a good idea because downplaying professional growth shows lack of sincerity in your answer. Both of these things are definitely not going to be appreciated by the interviewers. So avoid both of them. So, what's the right approach to answer this question? In the right approach, you would first of all express commitment. Then you would acknowledge industry trend where new opportunities keep arising and then focus on how long-term growth is what you seek. You would also talk about the importance of being a cultural fit. And finally, give them the confidence that you would be transparent if any such thing happens with you. A good sample answer here can be something like, if hired, I would be really thankful for the opportunity to work here. Looking at the current market scenario, I absolutely understand your concern. As for me, I believe in looking at various aspects of the assignment like work culture, learning opportunities, opportunities to grow, in addition to the compensation. If a position with a better salary is offered to me, I would assess it on all these parameters and not just the compensation. Maintaining trust is very important for me. So, if any such opportunities were to come my way, I would transparently discuss it with my manager. So, you see, this kind of a mature answer showcases your professionalism, commitment, and loyalty as a professional. And trust me, employers love such matured candidates. So, if you see actually, there are only 3-4 ways in which the questions around a situation can be asked. When you prepare to answer one question, you automatically tend to prepare for all the possible questions around that situation. And as I always say, it is your approach that matters more in the interview than your answer itself. So work on building up this approach. If you are preparing for an interview, you will find these 2 videos also useful. Do take a look. And if there are any specific topics that you want me to cover, please feel free to let me know by commenting in the box below. If you found the video useful, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends also who you think can benefit from it. If you still haven't subscribed to the channel, do it now. Help the channel grow so that we can help you in growing up in your career. I'll be back to you with a new topic very soon. Till then, bye-bye and take care.